Hello everyone, today we're going to start tracing and coloring your Egyptian drawing. So at this point you should have traced over everything with a fat tip Sharpie, and by putting a sheet of cardstock over your drawing you are going to trace both sides of that Sharpie line. So if you think about the width of the line itself, you're going to draw a pencil line on either side of it. And you should see the example in the video. You're going to do everything, including the border, your person, and any other symbols along with it. One thing you want to keep in mind is keeping the shapes nice and big in between your lines. This way, whenever you go to color, you have lots of room to color without getting into the lines, because it's going to be really important that you keep the lines white. Okay, so at this point, I have a thick white outline around everything. You're then going to choose 3 cool colors and 3 warm colors. As you can see, I am using the cool colors for the background and the warm colors for my figure and the borders. You can switch this, but the important thing is that the figure and the borders are the same colors, and the background will be the opposite. The most important thing with your coloring is getting a really thick layer of crayon on it. If you are coloring it thin, then the next step isn't going to work as well. So you should have a really thick waxy texture from your coloring. I'm trying to blend as best as I can. You're going to do the same thing. And sometimes I like to go back over with my lightest color to blend the 2 darker colors together, as you can see I'm doing with the yellow crayon. The other thing that you want to keep in mind when coloring is to not color inside of your outlines. As I'm coming around the figure, notice that I'm not coloring inside of the double lines around it. You want to keep that white so that when we get to our next step, we have a nice outline around it. Our next step will be spray painting these. So when the spray paint hits the paper, it's going to soak into any areas that does not have crayon on it. And the areas that do have crayon will resist the spray paint so that you can go back and etch it later. So main highlights, make sure that you have nice large shapes to color inside of. You have thick white outlines around everything. Color thickly with your crayons so that you get a wax coating on it. And don't color inside of the outlines. As long as you keep those things in mind, you should be good to go. All right. If you follow these steps, your project is going to turn out wonderfully.